So another type of question that you're going to have, which would be the last question I believe on the test. So that one that we just did, the one that you have the graph information just given to you is the first question. And then the last question is you write an equation. Now, you should try to do more than just write an equation, because if you make a mistake, we're in trouble. So what you want to do is you want to figure out, first and foremost, how many boxes are between your 0 to your first number that you know. So the first number that I know is pi. So I need to figure out how many boxes I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I want to do is I'm going to go over off to the side. I'm going to say pi divided by 4 equals 1 box. Now, the reason why you want to do this is because if your scale is not easily counting to know that it's pi over 4, what you want to do is you want to know what a box is worth so you can find your period. Now, depending on how you want to build this, I like to get the period out of the way. And what you need to do for the period is you need to find a start and then an end to the same part of the graph. I like tops and bottoms because of the fact that it's easier for me to see those for starting and ending, but I still like to rather graph my sine graphs. But it's up to you. So I have a start and I have an end here. So I have a start and an end, and the distance from those two spots right here is going to be my period. So you could count, you could subtract, you could do whatever you want to do. You could say, hey, 8 boxes equals 2 pi. How many boxes do I have? Does that equal 2 pi? Or you can count up however many boxes you have and take it times pi over 4, because that equals 1 box. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I took 8 times pi over 4, that would equal out to be 2 pi. Or if I just come up here and finish counting with that yellow highlighter, 4 gave me pi, 5, 6, 7, 8. That gets me my 2 pi. Up to you. So now that I found my period, that's what I want to use for my period. The next thing you need to do is you need to find your amplitude and your midline, or which is your vertical shift. So what you want to do is you want to use a top to a bottom number. So the top number that I have is 2. So here is 2. Here is -4. The distance between them is, you can count boxes or whatnot. What I would do is honestly just add them and divide by 2. So if I take 2 plus -4 equals, because it's average, and then divide that by 2, I will find my midline. So 2 plus -4 equals -2. Divide that by 2. My midline or vertical shift is down 1. So now I know I have midline at y equals -1. And then if I'm going to count to 2, so if my top was 2, I went up 3. My bottom is -4, so I went down 3. What you can do is you can come in here at -1 and count up. That would be 6 boxes up, and each box equals 2 boxes equals 1. You can do whatever you want to do. You count from -1 up. It's up to you on that part. But you kind of want to make notice of it. And then the last but not least thing we have is shift. Now, depending on where you want to start your graph, depends on what you want to do. So if you want cosine, sometimes cosine is easiest because it's not that far away. You want to stay as close to 0. You could pick this starting point. If you want to do sine, you could pick any point that falls on the midline. If you wanted to do this one, you could do this one. You could do this one. Any of those purple points are where you can start your graph at. So, depending on you, depends on what you want to do. So, with that, how does this get put together? So, the first thing you have is you have f of x or y equals. So, I'm going to do f of x. And then you take your amplitude, and my amplitude would be 3 because I went up 3 and down 3. I'm going to pick my function, My B value did not change from my period not changing, so I'm not going to do anything with it. And then I have a theta or x, and then I have my shift down, which is 1. So based on how you relate this to this, depends on what you pick. Now, also, what can get related to those graphs is if you have a positive or negative. So I'm going to put numbers next to points. I'm going to say what those numbers would be. Okay. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to call out if it's 0.1, this is a negative, this is a cosine, and I went to the right or left. So if I started here, this would be sine. Since it goes up, I would have a positive, then I would have sine, and then I shifted over 1, 2, 3 boxes to the left. So then at 1, I would have 3 sine theta, shifted left, so I need a plus, 3 pi over 4 minus 1. That would be for spot number 1. Number 2, since it went up, this would be number 2. I would have cosine because it's going top down, and I shifted 1 box, so it would be 3 cosine theta plus pi over 4 minus 1. Number 3. If I picked number 3, that's going down from the middle, so that's a negative 3, and I still shifted 1 box, so I would have negative 3 sine theta minus pi over 4 minus 1. And I'll do one more. I'll do number 4. This would be number 4. It's a negative cosine because it's upside down. 3 boxes. So I would have 4 negative 3 cosine theta minus 3 pi over 4 minus 1. So that's how you write equations. You don't have to write all 4. You just have to write one of them. The next one I'm going to show is, let's see, that's also a 2 pi. I don't want to use that one, but that one you got to pay attention to, so that's all right. We'll just do it real quick. So this will be top, this would be bottom. I'm going to talk about, oh my god. So, and then period. So we need to do period. So we need a start. We need an end. Okay. We need to know what 1 box is worth. 1 box equals pi over 2. So I have a half a box here. I have 1 box here, 1 box here, 1 box here, and half a box here. So I have 4 boxes. So 4 times pi over 2 equals 2 pi. So my period is 2 pi, so my B value did not change. Then I have my top, bottom, and my bottom number. Sorry, my kids are upstairs making lots of sounds. So my top number is 0. My bottom number equals negative 4. So 0 plus negative 4 divided by 2 equals negative 2 divided by 2, which equals, that's not right. Try that again, Pomeroy. Negative 4 divided by 2, which equals negative 2. So midline's at y equals negative 2, which means I went down 2. And also, you can count spots. Now, when you do your distances up and down, make sure you pay attention to your scale. This is 1, but by my scale, it's really 2. So I went from 0 to 2. So this is 2 up and 2 down. So 2 and then down 2. So up 2 and then 2. So my amplitude equals 2. And then it's just where do you want to start your graph? Okay, so equation, I have f of x equals, my amplitude is 2, depending on what function you want to pick. B value did not change, so I'm just going to put theta. And depends on where you want to shift. And I went down 2. So depending on where you want to put your points. Once again, it's just kind of a choice. If your graph is going off, I wouldn't worry about it. But once again, it's just up to you on what you want to do. And you can make it really difficult. You can make it really hard. You can pick the easiest one. You just got to pick what you see. Just remember that if you're halfway in between, you can cut those in half. So for number 1, I went to the left. Half of pi over 2, which is a fourth. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So that would be 2, and that's a cosine theta. Oh my gosh, my nose. Plus 3 pi over 4. And then I went down 2. Number 2 is 2. Whoops. It's a negative 2 because cosine went down. Did I get my negatives up there? Yeah. I forgot which way it started. Negative cosine. Did I do them right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I went up. I just want to make sure I went up correctly. Negative sine theta minus with a plus because I went to the left, pi over 4. Minus 2. Number 3 is a minus 2 cosine theta minus pi over 4 minus 2. And number 4 is sine theta with a 2 in front minus 3 pi over 4. Whoops. Minus 2. All right, so really quick on the back of this worksheet from yesterday, Friday, we're going to talk about the numbers that change, okay, and how does your pi change. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about your period again. So if I have a period start at here, so this is a start and here's an end. If I can easily count that and see that that's a period of pi equals pi, that's awesome. If not, if I take pi over 2, because that would be the middle part, and I divide that by 4. Remember, if you can't divide the number on the top, you just multiply, so this equals pi over 8. And then if I see I have 8 boxes, okay, so if I took 8 times pi over 8, I would get the same answer. And then after that is just shifting, and the reason why you want to kind of know what these first boxes are is because sometimes your points might not fall on things. So pi over 4. And then 3 pi over 8, just in case you have to move your points. But usually everything's going to be off by 90 degrees, so you can see where points are, and then you can kind of guess where you want to be and everything else. And we will go over this at the beginning of class tomorrow.